Did Benoit Blanc's new adventure provide enough entertainment, or did this movie murder my enjoyment of this franchise? Let's talk about Wake Up Dead Man. Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here. Welcome to my review for the newest Knives Out mystery, Wake Up Dead Man, where our man Benoit Blanc, played once again by Daniel Craig, returns for a mystery that is a bit more religious this time, and possibly even crazier than the ones he's faced in the past. In fact, this might be the hardest one that he's had to crack out of the films that we've seen. Now, there will be spoilers for this movie. If you guys don't want to know who the culprit is, who dies, and all that stuff, then definitely check out the film on Netflix right now and come back and hear my thoughts. So, with that being said, the previous two Knives Out films I really do enjoy. I think they're a lot of fun. The cast is always really great. And we've got another great cast here. Of course, we've got Daniel Craig back as Benoit Blanc. You have Josh O'Connor taking over kind of as your main character in this movie. I'm not going to lie to you. Daniel Craig doesn't come into this movie until 40 minutes in. So you don't get Benoit Blanc until 40 minutes in. That's going to be a big problem for a lot of people. And it wasn't bothering me. I do miss the guy. Maybe it was because I watched the first two, in preparation for this one. Rewatched those, and I was like, damn, I love this character. So, yeah, taking a little bit to see him was a little bit underwhelming. But when we finally do get to see him, and he starts getting, the wheels are turning, and he's starting to try and solve this case, I was really enjoying it. However, he still kind of plays a bit of a, honestly, a bit of a supporting role here. Because Josh O'Connor's character is the one that we're mainly focusing on here. Judd, who is this guy that killed a man when he was young, boxing, and after that he kind of turned to faith to try and get away from all of that trauma that he had suffering through that, and he turned to the Lord. And he actually is a really good priest in this movie. He tries his best to serve under Josh Brolin's character, priest under his commands. And he tries to just, get a feel for what it's going to be like when he has his own congregation, when he has his own church. And I really enjoyed the arc with him in this movie. There are a lot of religious themes in this movie, obviously, because it is a priest that is murdered. Josh Brolin's character is the one that gets murdered and the one that, sets this case in motion. And we're trying to, figure out what all this means. There is a casket being broken into at one point. The body goes missing. So, did he really rise from the dead? Is this his second coming? Especially because this is all set like during the Easter time. I was like, okay, this is getting, pretty crazy. And the cast as well, outside of Josh and Daniel, consists of like Glenn Close, Thomas Hayden Church, Kaylee Spaney, Kerry Washington, friggin' Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis. I mean, there is an outstanding cast here. And one of my gripes with this movie that kind of holds it back from being, better than the second one, because I do think this movie is the weakest of the franchise. I still like it, though. It's just I wasn't getting invested in the characters as much. Like, the Thrombies from the first movie, or the Disruptor Gang from the second one. There's just a lot of great personality in that first movie between the characters, whether you're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's character, or friggin' Chris Evans as Ransom, or even like our main focus in that movie, Ana de Armas as Marta. And then in the second movie, like, Kate Hudson cracks me up in that movie. Catherine Hahn, friggin' Dave Bautista, Madeline Klein. Just a lot of great people in that movie, and there's a lot of great people in this one. But the characters themselves, I didn't really feel myself gravitating towards them. I didn't feel like these are characters that I would want to see again. In terms of like rewatching it, this movie, I out of the three movies, I just don't see myself revisiting this movie as much as I would the other two. Now, the mystery is well crafted. Granted, I did kind of predict who it was in the end, because there's this whole scene in the beginning where Josh O'Connor sees Glenn Close have this confessional with Josh Brolin, and she comes out of there like crying, like she's breaking down. Then she kind of like straightens herself up and like, what are you looking at? And I had her pegged from like halfway in the movie. I was like, I think it's Glenn Close. I just think she's hamming it up with the whole, oh, he is risen, oh, help me, Lord. Like, yeah, she was just really laying it on thick that she was fucking sad about this guy. But when I thought about it more, like, she kind of has the most motive because it was originally her father who was in charge of this church. He died, and she witnessed his final moments. He has this diamond, these these untold riches that we hear about. He has them hidden away somewhere. It turns out it's in the formation of this diamond, and she doesn't want anyone to get their hands on it. And unfortunately, the pastor, played by Josh Brolin, caught wind of this and was gonna steal it. So she takes matters into her own hands and kills him, with help covering it up by Jeremy Renner's character, who inadvertently, in trying to cover this up, will do whatever it takes to get this diamond, because he's like, you know what, fuck this plan, I'm just going to take the diamond for myself. He kills Thomas Hayden Church's character, who was really in love with Glenn Close, and she feels terrible about that, so she kills Renner as well. She puts him in a tub of acid and fucking melts his body down to nothing but bones, and then sticks the father's corpse into the tub as well to make it look like, I don't know, some kind of fucked up ritual of some sorts. I'm not even sure what her planning was there, but Blanc sniffs it out. He initially doesn't want to embarrass her in front of everybody else, because it is at this moment where, like, everyone's gathered here, the congregation, and he does this big reveal, like he's leading up to who committed the murder, and he's like, I cannot solve this case. And instead, he lets her come into the church on her own accords and confess and have her final moments, because she takes this poison that ends up taking her life, unfortunately. But, justice is served. They still clear the name of Josh O'Connor's character, because a lot of them think that it's Josh O'Connor in this movie, because he was not a fan of how Brolin's character was going about preaching to the choir. And I really did like the religious themes in this movie. It isn't as interesting to me as, like, say, the more, like, comedy, like, suspenseful angle of the previous two, where you have all these kooky characters that are, equally responsible in some kind of way for some shitty things that have happened within the story. Here, these people aren't, like, total shitheads, but a lot of them are just, like, really weak people, like, just pathetic people, just letting the preacher walk all over them and just kind of be a dick to this congregation. And in the end, it's Josh O'Connor's character who ends up getting a hold of the diamond. Blanc walks away from it. He's like, I didn't see shit. You go ahead. And he starts preaching at the church. So that was a good ending for his character. It's got a good mystery to it, even if I did predict what was going to happen in the end of it. I think it is still compelling enough. There is some twists and turns that are going to get you going here. Wondering what the hell is going to happen. The rules are turning. I just wish that the characters themselves were a bit more interesting to me, because, like, after this movie, like, I'm not gonna really remember any of these people. Maybe Josh O'Connor's character, but that's a long shot. Whereas the other two movies, I could tell you their names, I could tell you what they did that makes them a piece of shit, I can tell you lines that they've said. I can't really do that for the characters in this movie. So that supporting cast, that cast of characters that he's supposed to question and everything, and they have all their alibis and their sayings and their ways that they're trying to weasel out of what's happening. I find that bit to be one of the best parts of these movies, and that was just kind of lacking in this one for me. So, nonetheless, I'm giving Wake Up Dead Man a 7 out of 10. I still think it's a good movie, even if it is the weakest in the franchise. But I want to know what you guys think. Is it the weakest in the franchise for you? Did you predict the mystery as well as I did? What is your what are you looking forward to in the fourth movie? Because I think we are getting a fourth film. What do you want to see out of that? I want to see Nicolas Cage in one of these movies. That's what I want to see. But thank you guys so much for watching the review. Check out the top 10 most disappointing movies of the year list if you haven't already. That's a good one that I just put out yesterday. And I'll thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and goodbye.